So in this section, I want to talk about one of the most important parts of the work of Leader as Healer. And it's a part that I think gets most ignored and most misunderstood. I want to really talk about a much higher level of emotional intelligence. And here we need to really rewrite some of our most common ideas about emotion. Primarily, that there is such a thing as positive or negative emotion. Because so long as we remain locked in that mindset, we just create more and more fragmentation. I'm feeling something, but I don't want to feel it. I'm feeling this, I want to change it. We just create more and more tension, more and more fragmentation. So in Emotional Intelligence 2.0, there is no such thing as positive or negative emotion. Let me give you a very simple example. When I'm in a room, senior team, executives, and I ask the question, how many of you in this room believe fear blocks you? To a person, everyone puts their hand up. But this is what we've come to believe, and it is completely wrong. The only thing that blocks us in fear is that we block fear. Because time and time again, whether it's in a one-to-one scenario of coaching or whether it's in a group process, when we feel safe enough to simply allow the feeling of fear to pass in our bodies, to really feel anxiety, fear, we really allow ourselves to feel it, the very opposite of blockage happens. Fear actually opens our body. It connects us. Quite the opposite of the concept, the belief that fear blocks me. So once we realize that, we're in a very different territory, because Leader as Healer is someone who, when it's needed, simply gives space for people to say what's happening emotionally right now. It might be 5 minutes in the middle of a meeting where there's clearly a lot of anxiety in the room, which is normal, very normal. Leader as Healer will stop the meeting and simply say, just let's ask how we're all feeling. How are we all feeling? And I've heard time and time again from my clients that such a simple action transforms everything. People are allowed unconditionally to say what they're feeling, not what they think they should be saying, but what they're actually feeling. I have not met one single senior leader who is not carrying an unattended package of scars, hurts, wounds from their past. These get packed away, and then we proceed through life on top of that unintegrated, unmet material, because it doesn't go away. It gets packed away, but it's affecting everything. It's affecting our ability to be present. It's affecting our ability to relate. It's affecting our ability to listen. Because once Leader as Healer realizes that, he or she undertakes an inner work with a skillful guide to visit those territories that have been left behind. In so doing, to experience how fear actually opens us, how sadness melts our heart, massively increases our empathic capacity, how anger, appropriately grounded, is a form of very essential power and boundary setting, the ability to say no. When teams find the way to appropriately include emotion, the whole level of connectivity and energy rises exponentially. And very interestingly, as I've experienced very often, when teams finally feel safe enough just to name how they're feeling, no big drama, the most interesting thing that often happens is whole floods of new ideas start to come in. Why? Because our whole body has relaxed. Instead of blocking fear, blocking sadness, blocking my irritation, I'm allowed to feel it, and then the channels of new ideas open. So rewriting the whole landscape of how we relate to emotion is an essential part of the work of leader as healer.